I used to be so ashamed of my debt that I wouldn't even look at my bank account for weeks. I was making a decent income, but I always felt broke. It was this constant, low-level hum of anxiety that I would just never get ahead. It felt like I was on a financial treadmill, working harder and harder, but staying in the exact same place. That feeling of shame every time I swiped my card. It was exhausting. Have you ever felt that? That weird disconnect where, on paper, you should be fine, but in your gut, you feel like you're one bad tire away from a total catastrophe? It's a strange and lonely feeling. You see friends posting vacation photos and new house keys on social media, and this little voice in your head starts whispering, "What are you doing wrong?" That voice can get pretty loud. I didn't realize it, but I was playing a game, the broke game. It's a game where you're constantly reacting, spending to keep up, and chasing that short-term hit of relief from the anxiety. I thought the only way to win was to make more money. I chased promotions, worked longer hours, and said yes to every side hustle, thinking a bigger paycheck was a magic bullet. But it wasn't. In fact, the more I earned, the more my lifestyle crept up, and the feeling of being broke somehow got louder. Then I had a turning point. It wasn't a lottery win or a rich uncle I never knew I had. It was a realization, a simple but powerful shift in how I was thinking. I realized I wasn't losing the game because I didn't have enough money. I was losing because I was playing with the wrong rule book. The problem wasn't my income. It was my system, or really my lack of one. So I tossed out the complicated budgeting apps and the spreadsheets that just made me feel ashamed. I stopped listening to the gurus who said I had to give up lattes and everything else I loved. Instead, I built my own system, a dead simple, 3-step system that combined a huge mindset shift with a few ridiculously easy financial moves. This system didn't just fix my bank account. It completely changed my relationship with money. It took me from a state of constant panic to quiet confidence. Today, I'm going to share that exact system with you. The 3 steps that let me quit the broke game and start building a life of financial resilience and, yeah, even freedom. This is my 3-step system for never feeling broke again. Step 1. Stop guessing and face the numbers. The first step is the hardest, but it's also the most important. It's the foundation for everything else. Step 1 is to stop guessing and face the numbers. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Nope, I don't want to look. It's going to be bad. It's going to make me feel awful. I get it. I've been right there with you. For years, my financial strategy was a sophisticated system I like to call vibes-based accounting. I'd swipe my card and just hope for the best. Ignorance felt like bliss, but it wasn't really bliss. It was just anxiety in a clever disguise. Feeling broke is often a psychological state, not just a numerical one. It thrives in the dark, in the uncertainty, in the not knowing. The single most powerful weapon against financial anxiety is clarity. And you can't get clarity by guessing. So, this first step is about a crucial mindset shift. You're going to stop being a passive passenger and start being the CEO of your own money. A CEO doesn't guess. A CEO looks at the data without emotion and makes strategic decisions. The numbers in your bank account are not a judgment on your character. They are not a measure of your worth. They are just data, information, and information is power. Here's the practical part of step 1. We're going to do what I call the 30-day truth tracker. For the next 30 days, you're going to track every single dollar you spend. Every coffee, every subscription, every late-night pizza. Don't change your spending yet. Don't budget. Just observe. You can use a notes app, a tiny notebook, a spreadsheet. The tool doesn't matter. The act of seeing is what matters. Why? Because most of us have no clue where our money actually goes. We think we spend X on groceries or Y on going out, but our guesses are often way off. That unconscious spending, the money that just seems to evaporate, is a huge source of that feeling broke anxiety. This 30-day period is about making the unconscious conscious. While you're tracking, there are 4 key numbers you need to find. Think of this as your financial dashboard. First is your total monthly income. This is your take-home pay after taxes. Not your salary, but the actual dollars that hit your bank account each month. Second is your total monthly spending. This is where your 30-day truth tracker comes in. At the end of the month, You'll add it all up, all of it. Third is your total debt. List every single debt you have. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, whatever. Write down the total balance for each. Yes, this can be a scary number. But remember, we're CEOs now. We look at the data without flinching. And the fourth and final number is your net worth. This is a simple formula. What you own assets minus what you owe liabilities. Assets are things like cash in the bank, investments, and the value of your car. Liabilities are that total debt number you just found. Your net worth might be negative right now. That's okay. Mine was for a very long time. This is just our starting line, not the finish line. That's it. That's step one. It's not about saving a single penny. It's not about deprivation. It's about swapping shame for information. It's about stepping out of the dark and flipping on the lights. When you know your numbers, the anxiety starts to fade because you're no longer fighting some vague, shadowy monster. You're looking at a clear, definable problem. And a problem you can define is a problem you can solve. Once you have clarity, once the lights are on, you can move to step two, build your financial fortress with margin. This is where we go from diagnosis to action, but not the kind of action you're probably expecting. We're not talking about extreme penny pinching or cutting out everything fun. We're going to talk about the single most important concept in personal finance, something far more powerful than being rich: margin. So what is margin? Margin is simply the space between what you earn and what you spend. That's it. It's the breathing room in your financial life. The broke game is all about looking wealthy. It's about the nice car, the expensive dinners, and minimizing that margin until you're suffocating. The wealth game, the one we're playing now, is about maximizing margin. It's about building a buffer, a fortress, that protects you from life's inevitable storms. When you have margin, a surprise medical bill is an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. When you have margin, losing your job is a challenge, not a DEFCON 1 panic attack. Margin is freedom. Margin is resilience. Margin is peace of mind. And we build it with a simple, automated system, not with sheer, exhausting willpower. Here's how. First, we give every dollar a job before we have a chance to spend it. We can call this a conscious spending plan. The word budget is just awful and feels like a cage, so let's not use it. Using the numbers you found in step one, you'll split your money into 3 simple buckets: needs, wants, and future you. A good starting point is a 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, housing, utilities, groceries. 30% for wants, hobbies, dining out. And 20% for future you, savings and debt repayment. Don't get hung up on the exact percentages. Your plan might be 60-20-20 or 70-10-20. The point is just to be intentional. But a plan is useless without action. And this brings us to the most powerful tactic in this whole system, the automation engine. Human willpower is a limited resource. Relying on it to make good money decisions every single day is a recipe for failure. So, we're going to take willpower almost completely out of the equation. We're going to build a machine that builds your wealth for you automatically. Here's your automation engine checklist. Do this once, and it will change your financial life forever. 1. Automate your savings asterisk. This is pay yourself first. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate high-yield savings account. This transfer should happen the day after your paycheck lands. It's not what's left over at the end of the month. It's the very first bill you pay. Out of sight, out of mind. This one move is the cornerstone of your fortress. 2. Automate your bills asterisk. Set up automatic payments for every recurring bill you have: rent, utilities, car payment, insurance. This kills late fees and frees up all the mental energy you waste remembering due dates. 3. Automate your debt payments asterisk at a minimum. Set up automatic payments for the minimum amount on all your debts. This protects your credit score. And if you're aggressively attacking high-interest debt, which you should be, automate that extra payment too. The beauty of automation is that it makes being financially responsible the default setting. The path of least resistance now leads toward wealth, not away from it. Now, a quick word on where your future you money should go first. The standard model works best. First, build a starter emergency fund of $1,000. This is the first wall of your fortress. Just having this will slash your anxiety. Second, aggressively attack high-interest debt, like credit cards. This is like plugging holes in your fortress walls. Finally, once that high-interest debt is gone, you build your full emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. Step 2 is about building a system that works for you. Margin isn't about depriving yourself. It's about designing a life where you're in control. It's about building a financial fortress, brick by automated brick. That gives you the security to stop worrying about money and start living your life. All right, we face numbers. We build our fortress of margin through automation. Now we get to the really fun part. Step 3 is where this all comes together to do something most money advice ignores. Actually make your life better right now. Step 3 is to design your rich life with intentional spending. For so long, I thought being good with money meant a life of restriction. It meant my life would be a long, gray hallway of spreadsheets and saying no to everything fun. That's a myth. And it's a myth that causes people to rebel against their own plans and go on spending sprees. A system built only on deprivation will always fail. This system is different. Because once your savings are automated, your bills are automated, and your debt payments are automated, something magical happens. The money left over is yours to spend, guilt-free. This is maybe the biggest mindset shift of all. A rich life isn't about having $1 billion. A rich life is using your money, whatever amount that is, to create a life that is deeply, uniquely fulfilling to you. It's about being absolutely, unapologetically intentional. Step 3 has 2 parts: funding your future and funding your present. First, automate your future. This is where we put the future you money to work through investing. I know investing can be an intimidating word. It makes you think of Wall Street guys screaming into phones. But for us, it's simple. If your job offers a retirement plan with a match, that's your first stop. An employer match is free money. Not taking it is like setting a pile of cash on fire every payday. After that, the simplest, most effective way to start is by automatically investing in low-cost index funds or ETFs. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to time the market. You just set up a recurring investment, even a small one, and let it do its thing. This is how you build a machine that makes money for you while you sleep. This is how you build true, long-term wealth. But you don't have to wait until you're 65 to enjoy your life. That brings us to the second and honestly most important part of this step, the guilt-free spending fund. This is a game changer. A dedicated slice of your wants from your conscious spending plan goes into a category that is purely for fun, for joy, for whatever you want. This is the money you have full permission to spend without an ounce of guilt. Why? Because you already paid future you. You already handled your responsibilities. Your automation engine did all the heavy lifting. So when you use this money, there's no nagging voice asking, should I really be buying this? Shouldn't I be saving this? The answer is no. This money's job is to be spent on things that make you happy. This completely reframes your financial life. You go from a mindset of scarcity, I can't afford that, to a mindset of priorities, that's not a priority for me right now. Buying a daily coffee isn't bad if you intentionally plan for it in your guilt-free spending fund. In fact, it's a sign that your plan is working. You are funding a life you actually enjoy living. This is what makes the whole system stick. It's the pressure release valve. You get the security of knowing your future is being built automatically, and you get the joy of living a vibrant life today. That is the end goal. This 3-step system isn't about hoarding cash. It's about using money as a tool to wipe out anxiety, build security, and finally, design a life that is rich in every sense of the word. A life of control, intention, and guilt-free joy. So, let's bring it all home. Just a few years ago, I was hiding from my bank statements, drowning in financial shame. I felt totally trapped, like I was doomed to play the broke game forever. Putting this system into place changed everything. Step 1, facing the numbers, gave me clarity. It turned the monster under the bed into a simple math problem. Step 2, building margin, gave me security. The automation engine built a fortress around my finances that protected me from stress. And step 3, designing my rich life, gave me joy. It gave me permission to spend on things I love, completely guilt-free. For the first time in my adult life, I'm not afraid of a surprise bill. I'm not anxious when I tap my card. And that feeling, that quiet confidence, that peace of mind, is worth more than any number in any bank account. This system isn't about being cheap. It's about being powerful. It's not about restriction. It's about taking back control. If there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. Just start. Don't get overwhelmed. Just start with step 1. Find your 4 numbers. Track your spending for 1 month. Start with honesty. Then move to automation. One small step at a time. If this resonated with you, I want you to do one thing. Tell me in the comments which of these 3 steps you're going to start this week. Are you going to face the numbers? Are you going to set up that first automated transfer? Or are you going to figure out what your guilt-free spending looks like? Putting it out there is the first step to making it happen. And if you want more simple, no-nonsense strategies for taking back control of your life, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for being here. You got this.